Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Well, first up, we welcome back Susan and Wayne. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances, of course, to reach the Pointless final. This is your second and last chance. Now then, Susan, how do you two know each other?
We're married. We've been married for 5 years.
And how did you get on last time, Wayne?
We did OK in the first round.
It was round 2, wasn't it?
Round 2, yes. It was politics.
Oh, it was politics. Oh, that's right. No, we had Nick, Ed and Dave.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And
But you gave us David Miliband and Nick Clegg. Hey!
Yeah,
yes.
Good
Quite
obscure
obvious.
knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, that was very good. Actually, talking of second names, your surname is fantastic. Wayne Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Wayne Friday.
From the clan Friday.
Wayne Friday, that's the best name ever. No. You should be at the front of a band. Wayne Friday and the Wayne Friday and something for the weekend. That's what I'd call it. Well, listen, welcome back to the show, Susan and Wayne. Round 2 last time. We've got to hope you're finalists. You've got to be favourites, our only returning pair.
We hope.
We hope.
Well, very, very best of luck. And next we welcome Aidan and Gavin. Now, how do you two know each other, Aidan?
We both play for Whalley Rangers, which is... You've probably all heard of Whalley Rangers,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we're a five-a-side football society.
OK. What do you hope is going to come up today, Aidan?
I guess musicals is something that... I've been in a lot of musicals in the past, so that's something at the back of my mind there, I guess. Sport's always quite good, particularly cricket. Very big cricket fan.
Gavin, how about you?
I've got a big record collection. I've been kind of collecting records since I was about 7, 8 and never grown out of it. And I do a community radio show on a Sunday, playing stuff from charity shops.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
kind of specialised niche
As
thing.
sort of exciting comedy things you found in charity shops? Or,
Can
or
be
things
comedy,
you...
yeah. I played a bit of Ken Dodd the other day.
But are they genuinely things that you like, rather than things you're not...
Some I like, some I don't, but if, you know, it's like rescuing something from a dusty corner of a charity shop and giving it a little bit of love and attention.
Like old
and
Mrs.
putting it back
Mills
out there.
records.
That kind of thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
OK, well, very best of luck with that. Great to have you on the show. And next we welcome Stephen and Tanya. Now, how do you two know each other?
We actually work together and quite good friends, aren't we, Tanya?
Yes.
Do you hear how he qualifies that? just quite good friends,
Well,
Tanya.
I think we're quite good friends. I don't think Tanya quite agrees, to be perfectly honest.
No,
Tanya,
we're really
what do
good.
you reckon?
No, we are
really
good
good.
friends. Yeah,
really good friends.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to come on Pointless?
It was mine.
And Stephen, the obvious choice?
No.
I wasn't the obvious
No.
choice. A colleague of mine was the obvious choice, and I simply just butted in and offered my services. Didn't take no for an answer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything you're looking forward to coming up, Stephen?
Football, comic books, maybe soap operas.
OK. Tanya, anything you want to add to that?
Maybe geography, that sort of thing, yes.
OK, so European geography, world geography, that kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah.
OK, well, very, very best of luck. It's great to have you here, Stephen and Tanya. And finally, we've got Yasmin and Heather. Now, how do you two know each other?
We met 21.5 years ago when Yasmin was born, with mum and daughter.
Very good. Where are you from, Yasmin?
We're from Newport in South Wales.
And what do you do, Yasmin?
I'm a full-time student. I'm studying criminology in Newport University.
And how about you, Heather?
I'm also a student. I work part-time in a department store, but I'm also a full-time student at the same university.
At the same university?
Yes.
Wow, did you start at the same time?
No, I started a year earlier.
Well, how's that been, Yasmin?
It's great. I bump into her in the bar in uni now and again.
That's great. Really wish my mum had been at university with me.
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm quite glad, actually. Maybe she wasn't.
Because we were at university together, I might have pulled your mum. Imagine that, just met her in the bar one evening.
How'd you know you didn't, Richard? Yeah, you might have. I don't, yeah. I've actually gone red.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, listen, Yasmin, Heather, it's lovely to have you here. Very, very best of luck. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show as it goes along. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He's here to destroy common knowledge. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hiya. Hello. Hi, everyone. I haven't quite got over the last show yet, have you?
No.
The single biggest and most profitable fluke in Pointless history.
That was amazing.
I would say, asked for politicians called Nick, David or Ed, and Natalie it was, said, oh, I don't know anyone at all. I'm literally just going to pick one of those names and add a colour to it. There's only one answer that could have worked for her, and she came up with it. Nick Brown, former Agriculture Secretary, Gordon Brown's chief whip, saw her through to the final, won an absolute fortune off the back of it. Amazing, wasn't it?
There you are.
So we're back, I think we're back on solid ground today. We've got only one returning pair, that's Susan and Wayne. Didn't see much of them last time, so everything up for grabs.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. In order to get to the final round and be in with a chance of winning our jackpot, our contestants need to find the obscure answers those 100 people couldn't get. So the fewer of the 100 people who knew the answer, the fewer points they will score. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. This is an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. As Richard said, Natalie and Vanessa won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever pair has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category today is music legends. Music legends. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Elton John UK top 40 singles as they could. OK, Richard.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't done this category before. We've done about 4,000 shows and it's never come up. We're looking for any top 40 hit released by Elton John or which had him as a named featured artist. So any Elton John single that's reached the top 40 prior to April 2012, please. EPs don't count.
OK, thanks, Richard. Now then, Susan and Wayne, you all drew lots before the show, and today you go first. So, Wayne, Elton John.
Yes, I do like Elton John, and there's quite a few answers, but trying to think of an obscure one. Let's go with Nikita.
Nikita, says Wayne. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Nikita. $18 for Nikita.
Solid start from Wayne, a number 3 hit in 1985.
Gavin.
Not a big Elton John fan. But...
but still, charity shops. I bet you must have a few Elton Johns.
One I can think of is I'm Still Standing.
I'm Still Standing, says Gavin. Let's see how many of our 100 people said I'm Still Standing.
Yeah, from 1983, I'm Still Standing, a number 4 hit. He's had so many hits, Elton John. So many big, proper big hits, hasn't he?
Yeah, and for decades.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Now then, Stephen.
Not the strongest subject, I must admit, but I'm going to go with Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer, says Stephen. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Tiny Dancer. Very well played, Stephen. That's why Tanya picked you. That score's 1-1. Very impressive score there.
Well played, Stephen. Funnily enough, never a hit for Elton John in his own right. Never released it as a single, Tiny Dancer. I think it's his best song. But it was a big hit for Ironic, featuring Elton John and Chipmunk as well.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Yasmin, what's the most obscure Elton John top 40 single you can think of?
There's a few, I just don't know which one's going to be more obscure. I think I'm going to go for when he features on Ghetto Gospel.
Ghetto Gospel, says Yasmin. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 said Ghetto Gospel. Absolutely right. Very well done. That's fabulous, Yasmin. That's a pointless answer. It has 250 quid to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £1,250, and it scores you nothing. Very well done indeed.
Very well played, Jasmine. That's the way to introduce yourself to Pointless. Yeah, Ghetto Gospel from 2005, a number 1 hit single, Elton John and Tupac.
Well, thanks, Richard. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores. Yasmin and Heather looking very strong indeed after that brilliant pointless answer from Yasmin. Then up to 1, where we find Stephen and Tanya. Up to 18, where we find Wayne and Susan. And then up to 21, where we find our DJ, Gavin and Aidan. I mean, you're not that far ahead, Aidan, but still, you'll need to find a really good low-scoring answer on the next pass if it's going to keep you in the game. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for Elton John UK Top 40 singles, Heather. You're on nothing after that fantastic, fantastic answer from Yasmin. The high scorers are Aidan and Gavin on 21. If you can score 20 or less, you are through to the next round for sure.
I do like Elton John, but I'm looking back a bit to think of something that's a little bit older, so maybe less remembered. So I'm going to go with Crocodile Rock.
Crocodile Rock,
Yeah.
says Heather. Crocodile Rock, here is your red line. If you can get below that red line, you will avoid becoming our high scorers. Crocodile Rock, is it right? How many people said it? It's right. "31, Crocodile Rock. 31, Crocodile Rock.
Biggest score so far, isn't it? 31. It was his first #1 single in the US.
Tanya. The high scorers are now Heather and Yasmin on 31. You're on 1. If you can score 29 or less, you are through to the next round.
Right. I'm going to have a guess for this one. A Song for Guy.
A Song for Guy, says Tanya. Let's see. A Song for Guy. Is it right? How many people said it? Absolutely right. Yep, you're through. Very well done. Oh, 6. Very well played indeed, Tanya. 6 takes your total up to 7.
Well done, Tanya. Song for Guy. One of the few hits he had that he wrote all by himself, actually, Song for Guy.
Without what, Bernie Taupin?
Without Bernie Taupin or any of his other co-writers,
Right.
who I won't mention at the moment.
I see. Now then, Aidan, you are on 21. The high scorers on 31 are Heather and Yasmin. If you can score 9 or less, you are through to the next round.
OK, the one I'm going to go for, I believe, is a double A side, so I don't know if it matters which one I say out of the two. So I'll say Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, says Aidan. Sacrifice. Here's your red line, quite low. Get below that red line, though, you are through to the next round. Sacrifice. Is it right? How many people said it? Absolutely right. Ooh, 12. 12 takes your total up to 33.
Oh, it's just the wrong score, isn't it, there? That was his first UK solo #1, Sacrifice, amazingly. Never had a #1
really?
before that. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that incredible when you think of the huge hits he'd had before then?
Yeah. So, Susan. Susan, you feeling confident? Well, let me tell you, the highest scorers on 33 are Aidan and Gavin. If you can score 14 or less, you are through to the next round.
I'm thinking of quite a recent one. There was a video with Robert Downey Jr. singing the song, and I kind of think I know what it is, and I think it's quite obscure, but I'm worried that I'm going to get it wrong. So I'm going to go one that I do know is right.
Is it a low score?
I don't know. It's called Daniel.
Daniel,
Yes.
says Susan. Daniel. 14 is what you have to score. There is what 14 looks like on the column. Get below that red line, you're through to round 2. How many of our 100 people said Daniel? That's right. Oh no, bad luck, Susan. 28. 28 takes your total up to a whopping 46. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Susan. Another one of his very well-known songs, written and recorded in one day, Daniel. Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics upstairs and took them down to Elton. And they recorded it. What was one you were going to go for?
I wanted to say I Want Love.
Well, I Want Love that is exactly the title of the Elton John song with Robert Downey
Please
Jr.
tell me
in the
it was
video.
awful.
Not only would it have scored you less points than that, it was a pointless answer.
I'm so sorry.
As you say, a more modern one from 2001.
Oh, no. OK. Never mind.
Sorry, it's one of those things. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers. There's Ghetto Gospel we already have from Yasmin. I saw her standing there as a pointless answer. I Want Love. Little Genie, Runaway Train with Eric Clapton. Something About the Way You Look Tonight was a pointless answer. The One, Turn the Lights Out When You Leave, Written in the Stars. The Bitch Is Back was pointless. Kiss the Bride, also pointless. Well done if you said any of those. Should take a look at the most popular answers. So these are the most well-known Elton John singles. Of all the singles he's ever released, here's the top 3 most well-known. We've already heard number 3 from Heather. That's Crocodile Rock. Number 2 was Rocket Man, would have scored you 35. And right at the top, no surprise, Candle in the Wind, 63. Do you know that was in the, obviously a big hit over here, but in the Canadian top 20. It was in the Canadian top 20 for 3 years. Spent 46 weeks at number 1
in its
in
1970s
Canada.
incarnation or its 1990s?
In its 1990s incarnation, 46 weeks at number 1.
Very good. Thanks very much, Richard.
Pleasure.
At the end of our first round, the pair who'll be leaving us, the pair with their highest score, 46, are Susan and Wayne. Our returning pair. I said you were going to be finalists.
I know.
I was convinced.
I wish I hadn't have known a pointless answer.
I know that
No, I
doesn't.
feel
That
bad.
really doesn't help,
Yeah,
does it?
No.
Think
I've
of,
got a lot of apologising to do.
think of
that's
the
all right then.
glory you'd be covered in now if you'd said, "I want
No.
love."
All right, never be.
Put the jackpot up to
I know.
1,500.
I know.
Wayne running around the studio with you on his shoulders.
Yeah,
Hey!
I knew a pointless answer. I can take that home.
There you are. You can.
I just didn't say it.
We have to say goodbye.
I know. Thank you.
Such a shame. Susan, Wayne, lovely having you on the show. This is far too soon to be saying goodbye to you. But excellent contestants. Thanks so much for playing.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And so 4 pairs become 3 pairs, and at the end of this round, 3 pairs become 2 as we approach the head-to-head. Now, that round was very, very revealing. Very best to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 is historical figures. Historical figures. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our question concerns figures of the 18th century. Figures of the 18th century. Richard.
We're going to give you a series of clues here to prominent figures who were active during the 1700s. Can you name them, please? We will accept just surnames. As always, the more obscure your answer, the fewer points you are going to score. An incorrect answer will score you 100 points. So it's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home. Very best of luck.
OK, so we are looking for the 18th century figures described by these clues, and we have got author of English Dictionary, published in 1755, the first president of the USA, wrote music for the Royal Fireworks, the artist whose engravings include Gin Lane, the artist who painted Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, and the poet who wrote Auld Lang Syne. I'll read those one last time. The author of the English Dictionary, published in 1755, the first president of the USA, wrote the music for the Royal Fireworks, the artist whose engravings include Gin Lane, the artist who painted Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, and the poet who wrote Auld Lang Syne. There we are, 6 clues to famous 18th century figures. And obviously you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Gavin.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I think I've got a pretty good chance of getting a few of those. I'll go for the artist whose engravings include Gin Lane as Hogarth.
Hogarth, says Gavin. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people knew that answer. Hogarth. Absolutely right. $11. Not bad at all, Gavin. Hogarth.
Well done, Gavin. Its companion piece was Beer Street and Gin Lane. It was supposed to extol the virtues of beer and warn of the evils of gin. It's a big deal, gin, wasn't it, back then?
Yeah, well, people used to make their own.
Huge gin palaces everywhere in London.
Tanya.
This must be the worst thing. I cannot really think much for any of the answers on here. I'm going to have a really big guess. The poet who wrote Auld Lang Syne, Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns, says Tanya. Robbie Burns. Let's see how many people knew that answer if it's right. Robbie Burns. $47. Not bad, Tanya. It's a lot better than 100. Well guessed. Richard.
Yeah, celebrated by his countrymen on January the 25th, Burns Night, his birthday. His countrymen being the Scots, of course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Richard. Now then, Yasmin, you're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through it if you like.
I'd love to be able to talk you through it. This is like the worst thing that could come up for me. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to take a guess. I said earlier to the fellow contestants, if I didn't know an answer for a question, I was just gonna say Smith. So I think I'm gonna say Smith. For President of the USA.
The first president of the USA, Smith. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Smith for the first president of the USA. Ooh, bad luck, Yasmin.
Surprising.
Bad luck. You should have tried a colour.
I know.
Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. It scores you the maximum of 100 points. Richard.
Sorry, Yasmin. Do you know there's never been a President Smith, ever, in the history of the United States? Never been a Smith.
Extraordinary. What an oversight.
Well, there's a gap in the market, certainly.
Definitely, yes.
The first President of the United States, George Washington, would have scored you 34 points. Now, let's test Sandra on some of these. The author of the English Dictionary published 1755.
Dr. Johnson.
Dr. Johnson, yep. Samuel Johnson would have scored 8 points. Wrote the music for the Royal Fireworks.
George Frederick Handel.
Handel, absolutely. Quite a big scorer. Well done to our 129 points. And the best answer on the board, the artist who painted Mr. and Mrs. Andrews.
It's Gainsborough.
It is Thomas Gainsborough. Very well done. It's 4 points, so well done if you got that at home as well.
Thank you very much. OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 11, the best score of that pass. Gavin and Aidan this time looking very strong indeed. Then up to 47, where we find Tanya and Stephen. And then, whoa, it's quite a hike, up to 100, where we find Yasmin and Heather. So then, Heather, you get first dibs on the next board. So you find a really nice low-scoring answer. And let's hope that'll be enough to keep you in the game. Very best of luck. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues on the board, and here they are. We have got utilitarian philosopher born 1748, the author of Robinson Crusoe, Queen of France executed in 1793, regarded as the first British Prime Minister, the inventor who patented an improved steam engine in 1769, and the celebrated composer born in Salzburg in 1756. I'll read all of those one more time. Utilitarian philosopher born 1748, the author of Robinson Crusoe, the Queen of France executed in 1793, regarded as the first British Prime Minister, the inventor who patented an improved steam engine in 1769, and the celebrated composer born in Salzburg in 1756. Now remember, we are looking for the 18th century figures described by these clues, and Heather, you have to find one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew.
Well, I'm going to have to look for something. I think I'm going to have to take a risk rather than play safe on this one. So I'm going to go for the utilitarian philosopher, and I'm going to say John Stuart Mill.
John Stuart Mill, says Heather. John Stuart Mill. There's no red line for you, Heather, because you're the high scorers. Let's see if John Stuart Mill is right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Oh, bad luck.
Oh, well.
Bad luck, Heather. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 200, Richard.
Sorry, Heather, I had to take a risk, though. You're quite right. I'll give you the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Stephen, you're through to the head-to-head, whatever happens.
Don't have a clue about any single one of them, so I'm just going to take a guess. The inventor who patented an improved steam engine, I will go with James Harrison.
James Harrison.
Yes.
James Harrison. No red line for you, as you are already through. Let's see if James Harrison is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck. I'm afraid an incorrect answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to 147. OK, there we are. Aidan, you're on 11. Doesn't matter what you score, you are through to the head-to-head, whatever happens. So talk us through the board, if you can.
OK, the top one I can't think of an answer to, unfortunately, at all. Robinson Crusoe was, I believe, Robert Louis Stevenson. The Queen of France would be Marie Antoinette, I would have thought. The Prime Minister, I ought to know, can't remember his name. Fortunately, it doesn't matter so much for now. The inventor who paid the steam engine, I'm guessing, would be Stevenson for the rocket. And the composer, Mozart or Beethoven. I have a feeling it wasn't Mozart for Salzburg, but it may just be. I don't think any of them are going to be pointless, so I'll go with the author of Robinson Crusoe, Robert Louis Stevenson.
Robert Louis Stevenson, you're saying, is the author of Robinson Crusoe. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. No, an incorrect answer, as it turns out. Aidan scores you the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 111. Well, that went very well.
It really... You know what? Terrifically well done, everybody. That is great. Treasure Island, perhaps you're getting it mixed up with. And Robinson Crusoe was Daniel Defoe. Would have scored 36 points. Blimey, we get to fill in the whole board. We don't have to do that. And often I'll say things like, and Aidan, you took us through the rest of the board very well, but you got them all wrong, apart from... apart from the Queen of France, it was Marie Antoinette. Absolutely right, would have scored 43. Now, what's the answer to the inventor one?
It's Watt.
Yeah, what's the answer?
Watt.
Absolutely right. James Watt, 19 points. The composer was Mozart, not Beethoven. That would have scored you 31. Regarded as the first British Prime Minister?
I don't know.
Yeah, Robert Walpole. It's one of those things you should know and people don't. 4 points that would have scored you. And the utilitarian philosopher born 1748, his body is on display at the University of London in a glass case. He left it to them, it's still there. Jeremy Bentham.
Jeremy.
And that would have scored 1 point, so very well done if you said that.
OK, thank you very much indeed. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, are newest members to the 200 Club, Heather and Yasmin. You had a crack at it. John Stuart Mill, not a bad guess, but wrong, sadly. But, yeah, that was a tough board. In fact, both of those were tough.
I knew a few of them, but I knew they'd be high scoring. So with already 100, I thought I'd just take a,
yeah, no, you
a
had
bit
to.
of a gamble.
You had to. And actually, I tell you what, if you got a correct low-scoring answer, given the other answers given by the remaining pairs, you would you'd have been safely through.
If only you'd known everybody else was going to get 100 as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that would have made it much easier.
Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely having you on the show, Heather and Yasmin. We'll see you again next time and look forward to that. Meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well, congratulations, Aidan and Gavin, Stephen and Tanya. You are now only 1 round away from the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. You're now going to go head-to-head, and the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. The difference being, of course, that from now on, you are allowed to confer, so you can put your heads together. Well, now, Aidan and Gavin, you are our lowest scorers, despite scoring 100 points in the second round, and I wouldn't say covering yourselves in glory in the first round. But, yes, that, Stephen and Tanya, what did you make of that 18th century figures round?
Nightmare.
It was tough.
That was tough.
Yeah.
I knew a few on the first board. So.
Yeah. Well, Hogarth, very much the best score in that entire round, so very well done for that, Gavin. Best of luck to both teams. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns Swedes. Swedes, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 photographs of different varieties of swede or turnip commonly grown in Britain. Can you give... No, we're not really. We're going to show you... Few. We're going to show you 5 photographs of people born in Sweden. Can you identify the most obscure? Very best of luck.
OK, thanks very much indeed, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 Swedes, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 Swedes. Now, Aidan and Gavin, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first. What do you think of our Swedes?
I'm just glad they're not the vegetables. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's a Nana cherry. I think that's part of the 5.
Yep. We're going to go for B, Nana cherry.
B, Nana cherry. Now then, Stephen and Tanya, talk us through the board.
Well, that was the one we were going to go for. I know A and D.
You can say who they are if you like.
Sven-Goran Eriksson, Ulrika Jonsson.
Those names go together very well, don't they?
I know who C is, I know what he's in, but for the life of me, I can't remember his name.
Was he in one of those, like, Rocky films?
Yeah, he's in Rocky 4.
Something Vans, something, no. What about E?
It looks like a tennis player, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I know A and D, and you knew B, but...
Right. Well, they're both going to be high.
We should have to go for D, really.
Yeah.
D, Ulrika Jonsson.
OK, D, Ulrika Jonsson. So we have Nana Cherry and Ulrika Jonsson. Aidan and Gavin said Nana Cherry. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Nana Cherry. He's right. 8. Very well done. And Stephen and Tanya have said that D is Ulrika Jonsson. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. $69. Which means, Aidan and Gavin, after one question, you are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, couldn't have beaten Nina Cherry there. It's the best answer on the board. She's born in Stockholm. Let's take a look through the rest. You're right about Sven-Göran Eriksson. Actually, would have scored slightly less than Ulrika, scored 64. C, you recognise from all sorts of films, Dolph Lundgren. He's in a photograph there during the Great Button Shortage of 1987. 18 points he would have scored you. And E, you're right, he looks like a tennis player. He is a tennis player. It's Stefan Edberg. And he would have scored you 15 points. Now, 2 of those people famously had an affair, didn't they? Do you remember Dolph Lundgren and Stefan Edberg going out?
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Here comes your second question. Stephen and Tanya, remember you have to win this question to stay in the game. Question 2 concerns US states and their capital cities. US states and their capital cities. Richard.
Yeah, we're about to show you 5 sets of abbreviations. We're going to show you 2 letters, which are the abbreviation of a state, and then 1 letter, which is the first letter of that state's capital. Can you tell us what the capitals of these states are, please? Very best of luck. OK, let's show you our 5 abbreviated states with the initial of their capital, and here they are. We have got TN, N, CT, H, AZ, P, MA, B, and TX, A. I'll read those one last time. TN, N, CT, H, AZ, P, MA, B, and TX, A. OK, Stephen and Tanya, you go first this time. Remember, you have to win this one.
I'm not 100%, but AZ and P, Pittsburgh, Arizona?
Pittsburgh, Arizona. Pittsburgh, Arizona, say Stephen and Tanya. Aidan and Gavin, what are you going to say?
I'm going to defer to Gavin, who probably talks through the board, I think.
Will you, please? Yeah.
I'll try. I think the first one is Nashville, Tennessee. Second one, Hartford, Connecticut. Boston, Massachusetts is the fourth one. Austin, Texas. And I think it's Phoenix, Arizona, the third one. But I'll go for Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford, Connecticut. You're going to say the second one down, CTH. Hartford, Connecticut. OK, so Stephen and Tanya have said Pittsburgh, Arizona. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people have said it. Oh, no. Bad luck. I'm afraid an incorrect answer. Which means, Aidan and Gavin, your answer of Hartford, Connecticut merely has to be correct, and you will go straight through to the final. Is it right? It is absolutely right. Oh, great answer. 5. 5 for Hartford, Connecticut. Which means, Aidan and Gavin, after only 2 questions, you are through to the final 2-0. Very well done.
Yeah, very well played, Gavin, especially. He took us through the board perfectly as well. Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania, I'm afraid. Let's take a look at what the other ones would have scored. Arizona is Phoenix, as the biggest scorer up there, 25 points. It's actually the most populous of any state capital, Phoenix. There's an obscure quiz question for you. It's got more people than Boston, Massachusetts, and that would have scored you 9 points. Austin, Texas. It was originally called Waterloo, Austin. That would have scored you 24, and Nashville, Tennessee, up the top there, 20. So Hartford, Connecticut, very much the best answer on that board. Very well played.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of our head-to-head round is Stephen and Tanya. They were quite tough, those, weren't they? You've made it all the way through to the head-to-head, which is no mean feat. Yeah. We'll see you again next time, when maybe you'll make it through to the final. Hopefully. Lovely having you on the show, Stephen and Tanya. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. But for Aidan and Gavin, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Aidan and Gavin. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,250. Well, yeah, it was a pretty solid performance throughout the show. Are you happy with how things have gone?
Yeah.
Handy revision subject for Gavin that was before we came on here was the capitals, so that worked out very well.
Very good indeed. That was very good. So, well, the rules are simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. We've had one pointless answer on the show today. You only have to find one more now, and you will go home with that £1,250. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and you have a choice of 5 options. They are European authors, acting greats, music awards, diplomacy, modern playwrights.
European authors. I know there's some 19th century stuff. Diplomacy, no doubt. As music awards, you're going to be good on music awards.
Possibly, depending on... Yeah.
Most likely. Yeah. Acting greats won't be me. So I think music awards gives us our best chance.
We'll give it a go.
We'll give it a go.
OK, music awards it is. Let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Best British Male Brit Award winners as they could. OK, Richard.
Yes, we're looking for the winner of any Best British Male or Best British Male Solo Artist Awards at the Brit Awards from 1977 all the way through to 2012, please. Very best of luck.
OK, thanks, Richard. You now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £1,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready? OK, let's put 60 seconds on the board. There they are. Your time starts now.
Okay, mate. Late 70s then. Who have we got? The obvious ones.
Think of obviously Robbie Williams, but he's going to be high scoring. Maybe Elton John at some stage will be high scoring.
Possibly. Like Freddie Mercury might have done it.
Seal? Is Seal British?
Seal. I think he is British. Yes. Is that an obscure one potentially?
Possibly.
Late 70s. Who were sort of bigger acts? Late 70s then.
I can't think. Who else would it be?
From the early 80s, we used to...
maybe someone like Howard Jones or Nick Kershaw.
That's a good guess. Yeah, they're popular when we're at school kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Howard Jones for the ladies.
Yeah.
And Paul Young.
Paul Young, that's a good one. Yeah.
OK, so we're going to... should we go for Seal?
Yeah.
People might not say it.
Yeah.
And we'll go for...
10 seconds left.
Yeah, Howard Jones.
Howard Jones and...
Who's the other one?
Paul Young or Nick Kershaw?
Paul Young.
Paul Young.
Yeah.
OK.
Give it a go.
OK, there we are. Just as your time runs out, we were looking for Best British Male Brit Award winners. I now need your 3 answers.
OK, we'll go with Seal.
Seal.
Paul Young.
Paul Young.
And Howard Jones.
And Howard Jones. 3 complete guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 3 pretty good guesses. I mean, wow, who knows? It could be very exciting, this. Now, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Yeah,
OK, Paul Young, we'll put him last. And your least likely?
Seal.
Seal, we'll put him first. OK, and Howard Jones in the middle. OK, let's pop those on the board, and here they are. Seal, Howard Jones, Paul Young. So, we were looking for Best British Male Brit Award winners. Seal was your least confident answer. You only need to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that £1,250 jackpot. So, let's see. Seal, is it right? How many people said it? It's absolutely right. Seal, your first shot at the jackpot. And you've hit the bullseye in terms of it being right. Will it be pointless, though? Down it goes into single figures, still going down. No, 2! Wow. Wow, well done you. That's amazing. You know, the margin for error here was pretty substantial. That was a correct answer, Seal. And only 2 people said it. Unfortunately, not a pointless answer, but still, nonetheless, a brilliant one. So you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. What would you do with £1,250, Aidan?
There's 2 things. One, I need to go back to Australia with my wife and baby daughter now to meet the family out there. The more money would help to go around cricket, helpfully. So if we can go around the Ashes rather than at the end of the Australian summer, which was the usual.
OK.
It would all help, absolutely.
So that's your wife's family right there, or your family?
It's my wife's family mainly, yes.
Gavin, how about you?
It's our 15th wedding anniversary next year, so we're planning to go back to San Francisco where we had our honeymoon and do a bit of New York as well, so that would help towards that.
Very good indeed. Well, 2 fantastic things to put your money towards. Let's hope one of your 2 remaining answers will see you win that jackpot. Howard Jones is your next answer. We are looking for Best British Male Brit Award winners. Let's hope nobody said Howard Jones. It has to be right. It has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £1,250. How many people said it? Ooh. Bad luck. I'm afraid Howard Jones, an incorrect answer, so not a Brit Award winner in that category. So only one more chance to win today's jackpot. Everything is now riding on Paul Young. And again, complete guess, but surely a likely contender. When would that be? In 1984, 85?
83, 84, I think.
Yeah.
No parley, around there.
Exactly.
There we go. Now then, we are looking for Best British Male Brit Award winners. Your third and final answer was Paul Young. You said this was your most confident shot at a pointless answer. It has to be right. Then it has to be pointless. If it's both of those things, you will win £1,250. So let's see. Paul Young, is it right? How many people said it? Absolutely right. So Seal was right, took us down to 2. Howard Jones turned out to be an incorrect answer, but Paul Young is bang on the money. Down it goes into single figures, still going down. Down it goes. Yes, you've done it! Very well done. That's brilliant. Superb. Very well done indeed.
Yes, good music.
Brilliant. And somehow all the better for being a guest. That makes it even more exciting. Very, very well reasoned. Congratulations, Paul Young was a pointless answer, which means you go home with our jackpot of £1,250. Very well done indeed.
Well done, mate. Good game. Good game.
Yeah, well played, gents. You haven't put a foot wrong since the start of the head-to-head. Paul Young won in 1985, where one of the other nominees was Howard Jones, funnily enough. It's one of those categories where you could have come a cropper because there's an awful lot of answers with 1 point. It's one of those ones, you know, sometimes they go down to 1 all the time. 1 point for Sting, Tom Jones, Elton John, Dizzy Rascal, Mark Ronson, Mick Hucknall, Mike Skinner, Ed Sheeran, Peter Gabriel, all of those people scoring 1 point. There's only 3 pointless answers. You got one of them. Let's take a look at the other 2. 2004 it was Daniel Bedingfield, and in 1998 Finlay Quay. Paul Young being the other one. Very well done if you got any of those 3. Very impressive answers.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Aidan and Gavin, who go away with today's jackpot of £1,250. Brilliant. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.